What's going on, boxing fans? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got another top 5 video, number 4 for this week. Homicide Hank Henry Armstrong. I want to rate him much higher on my list, but something that does stand out is the fact that the reason I do have him on my list because basically he did fight a lot of welterweight fights, but in the welterweight fights, he fought a lot of these welterweight fights as a lightweight, and he was able to defeat a lot of welterweights as a lightweight. Because he's coming into these welterweight fights at 130, 135 pounds, 137, 138. The weight kind of fluctuated, but he would come back down to lightweight. He only defended the championship one time, and that was against Lou Ambers. Both the fights were close. Both of the fights were controversial. Both of the fights were pretty much fights. I believe the second fight was in Ambers' hands. Was in Armstrong's hands, and then he low blowed him, I believe. But just look at the style. Second greatest fighter of all time, pound for pound, Henry Armstrong. Number 2 to Sugar Ray Robinson. Like I said, if you look at his career, he's only held the lightweight championship for about maybe a year, if that. He defeated Lou Ambers in 1937. Was in 1938. I believe it was 1938. He was 37 or 38 Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. Had a lot of epic bouts. One of my favorite fights to watch is the match against Barney Ross. I like to see that matchup against Barney Ross, because if you look at the match, you see the kind of subtle skill. Something that I do appreciate about Henry Armstrong is the fact that from bell to bell he came to fight. He wasn't necessarily the biggest boxer, but he didn't stay on the outside and do his shots on the outside, and he was pretty much like an inside guy. He liked to punch on the inside. He knew how to find that right hook. I do like how he jabbed, and he would jab to get inside, and then just throw the right hook, following his jab, and would throw it inside. And sometimes it would land automatic, depending on the defense, because back then fighters were less defensive. And then he did kind of have a little defensive style. How he moved his shoulder, how he kind of rolled that shoulder, and it wasn't necessarily like, it was kind of a mixture between like a Archie Moore and maybe a little bit of a Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll. He had if you see how the hands are up, and he didn't move it as finesse as how Floyd does it, but he was able to move the shoulder to evade shots and counter over with the right hook. Did that very well. But I do have him at number 4. I do think he's one of the greatest featherweight, lightweights, and welterweights of all time. And I have him, and I want to put him higher. But the thing is, he didn't hold the championship that long. He only held the championship for about a year. He did hold the featherweight, I believe it was the featherweight and the lightweight championship simultaneously, if I'm not mistaken. But, overall, a great warrior spirit, came to fight from bell to bell. Just look at the fights. When the bell would ring, he's walking forward. When the bell to end the round, was over, he was still there, trying to fight, still trying to land the shot. So you have to appreciate that style. A fighter that comes forward from bell to bell, a fighter that's skilled, and a fighter that's wanting to get the knockout, or there to swarm you or just beat the living shit out of you from round to round. So, anyway, number 4, Henry Armstrong. I'll be back tomorrow. But anyway, guys, that was The Distance. Thanks for watching. Peace.